Master Damo's discussion on awakening. The path is, as well as extinction as the essence. Practitioners take separation from forms as the principle. Regard both the golden cloud and the various realms. The Bodhi path vanishes the pig's appearance. Thus the way of the practitioner is based on ideals. Thus the classics say that cessation is liberation, because one has left behind various phenomena. Buddha means awakening. A person has determination on the Bodhi path. Thus it is called the sutra that speaks of separating all forms and illuminating all Buddhas. Having forms is the formless form. One cannot see by relying on the eyes alone. If one hears this Dharma, they will have a single thought of faith. This person has already achieved great new achievement, transcending the three realms. By countering greed and anger, one can definitely surpass the three realms, yet hatred and ignorance remain untouched by the nature of eating. But it is just a gathering of a multitude of bodies. If one can reflect back, briefly, to see greed, anger, and ignorance is to see Buddha nature. Honestly claiming to eat outside has no other Buddha nature. The golden cloud and the Buddhas originally dwell in the three poisons, nurtured by the white Dharma to become the world-honored one. Those who speak of the three afflictions are talking about ignorance, and the word Buddha means awakening. A person has an awakened heart, practices, and verifies a true understanding of liberation. Therefore, called Buddha. The scripture says, everything within is called the way of the Buddha. Even having form is indeed the formless form. This cannot be done. What can be seen can only be known through great wisdom. If those who know this gateway have a single thought of faith, this person is one of the 8 great new achievements, transcending the three realms. The three realms are greed, hatred, and ignorance. Transforming greed and anger is called transcending the three realms. But attachment, anger, and ignorance have no substantiality. This is merely a convenient teaching for sentient beings. If one can reflect upon their own stars, one can clearly and distinctly see the way. Discussing the ignorant nature is precisely the Buddha nature that is beyond the honest ignorance. There is no other Buddha nature. The scriptures say, all Buddhas come from the original body, often in a state of greed, anger, and ignorance. In various good dharmas, one grows and nourishes to achieve the world honored. The three afflictions, greed, anger, and ignorance, are severe, yet the highest level of cultivation is achieved by the Bodhisattva, who performs actions that accomplish nothing, all day long becoming the Great Wall. This is the city of the Buddha. The golden cloud and the 5 aggregates become Buddha as well. If a person's 6 senses are not practical, 5 aggregates are just names. Seeking knowledge must be without a fixed place. This person understands the Buddha's words. The 5 aggregates are caves, awakened in the Zen temple with a great city gate opened. Unclear as to what is the great minister, the highest vehicle is where the Bodhisattvas engage in their practices. The external force of cultivation does whatever it can. However, the mind cannot withstand any force of cultivation. He thinks all day to practice the great vehicle, but completely cannot surpass the great principle of thoughts. This is indeed the true classic of the Buddha. Saying there is no accomplishment is the true Buddha. If someone knows that the 6 senses do not actually exist, the 5 aggregates are merely designations. Searching high and low, cannot find a fixed place of existence. It can be understood that this person comprehends the teachings of the Buddha. Classics say, wherever the 5 aggregates are, there is the Zen retreat looking inward. A new understanding is like a great door of the great completion. Isn't this explained quite clearly? Not easily understanding all laws is called understanding meditation. If understand this, words, actions, sitting or lying down, are all concentration. The star is empty, named as seeing the Buddha. Why is this? All Buddhas in the 10 directions see with no mind, called seeing the Buddha. Abandon the body, do not allow the title of a great teacher to arise. Why is that? Ordinary people always have a narrow view, while their positions are definite, transcending the seat of ordinary beings and small vehicles. Zen is named great sitting. Zen, if sitting with this session. All phenomena, do not seek self-liberation. All phenomena are not wisdom. Since then all are great meditative samadhis. Not being attached to all dharmas is called meditation. If someone understands this sentence, both walking and lying down are in a state of meditation. Knowing that the inner mind is struck is called seeing the Buddha. Why is this? All Buddhas in the 10 directions are because of having no heart, and no thoughts exist. This is called seeing the Buddha. Not allowing habitual attachment to cut off the physical body is called a great benefactor. Transcending dynamic and static concentration is called great sitting Zen. Why is this? Ordinary beings habitually move their hearts. The small vehicle cultivation habitually goes deep into meditation. Transcending ordinary beings and the small vehicle sitting meditation is called the great sitting meditation. If there are people who have this experience, various phenomena, there is no need to seek, and it naturally separates. All stalks do not require intention and naturally heal. This is all. Great stability of concentration. Anyone who seeks the Dharma with their mind will find it to be burdensome. Not seeking the Dharma with the mind is about not clinging to words. Liberation is not stained by the 6 senses. Protecting the Dharma, transcending life and death, and the secular life leads to enlightenment without producing delusions. The common people's plate is not here. Ignorance is the great wisdom. where there is no affliction, it clearly shows the place of nirvana. There is no mind interacting. It is called the other shore. Delusion has this case. If one does not consume, there is no such matter. Why is this so for ordinary beings? One continuously dwells here. If most excellent, the mind does not dwell. This meaning does not dwell on the pen, thus is one able to depart from this. The other shore too. If one sees the other shore, they also do so in this matter. This person's heart has no concentration. Those who seek the Dharma outwardly are deluded. Not everything is external seeking Dharma. Not being attached to words is called liberation, not being stained by the six senses. This is called protecting the hair and transcending life and death. This is called becoming a monk to escape the cycle of rebirth. This is called attaining the way without generating delusions, called nirvana. Not dwelling in ignorance is called great wisdom. There are no troubles. This is called the place of nirvana where there are no thoughts. This is called the other shore. Who has this case established is practically non-existent. Why is this? Because ordinary beings are all centered in this matter. If awakening is of the most excellent kind, the heart does not dwell here. Darkness is not on the other shore. So one can transcend this matter and the other shore. If there is discrimination between the other shore and this case, this person's heart has no concentration and troubles are the names of sentient beings, misinterpreting enlightenment, not doubting or being unjust. Only change their delusions. As for what is in the world, it can be transcended. Eating incorrectly leads to no exit from the world. In the equal Dharma, ordinary people are not seen. It is easier for a sage to hold equal principles than for an ordinary person to abide by those principles. Only great bodhisattvas walk with the Tathagata. If you see the birth of meaning in death, action is easily exhausted. All clearly understand inequity, not seeing afflictions, easier to enter nirvana. Citizens are equal. Why is that? Afflictions and nirvana are both of one essence, which is emptiness. Thus, small city people forget to sever afflictions. Forgetting to enter nirvana is caused by being in nirvana. The nature of bodhisattva's troubles is emptiness, thus it does not part from emptiness. Thus, when in nirvana with afflictions, it is called sentient beings. When awakening, it is called bodhi. These two are not the same. It is also not a different distinction. It is merely separated by mist. When lost, they believe there exists a world they can escape to awaken. It is known that there is no world to escape as one does not see that the equal Dharma is seldom mentioned in the classics of ordinary people versus saints, making it hard to enter. Sages cannot achieve the equal Dharma. Only great bodhisattvas and the Buddhas can attain the Tao. If seen, business and death will aid in annihilation. All are described as being unequal. Not seeing afflictions makes entering nirvana easier. Is known as equality. What about affliction and nirvana? Both are characterized by emptiness in the small city of people practicing. One must decisively cut off afflictions. One must resolutely enter nirvana. Instead, being troubled by nirvana, the path of the bodhisattva, afflictions are of an empty purity. Emptiness does not part from emptiness. Therefore, always in nirvana. Nirvana is to reverse and not be born, a body that does not die. To be liberated from birth and death, entering nirvana requires the heart to have no going or coming. Thus, entering nirvana is the essence of emptiness. Buddhas enter nirvana in the place of no delusions. Bodhisattvas entering the way are in the place of no afflictions, relaxed. Where one is also without attachment, anger, or ignorance. Greed is called the desire realm, and ignorance is called the formless realm. If one thought's heart arises, they immediately enter the three realms. One thought's heart extinguishes. Thus, exit the three realms. The birth and death of the three realms and all phenomena arise from one heart. Nirvana points to the existence of the warm glow. But the heart does not increase nor decrease. But the heart has not diminished, transcending the phenomena of life and death, transcending and dragging nirvana's realm. Newness without coming or going is entering nirvana. Thus, know that nirvana is indeed an empty heart, and Buddhas entering nirvana are indeed in the place of no delusion. Bodhisattvas entering the way are indeed in the place of no afflictions. In moments of relaxation, the newly found, there are no thoughts of greed, anger, or eating. Greed refers to the desire realm, known as the form realm. This is the formless realm. If a thought arises, it immediately enters the three realms. A single thought can transcend the three realms. Thus knowing that the birth and death of the three realms and all phenomena, whether existing or non-existing, arise from one heart, many words about one heart are akin to broken tiles. If the heart is merely a name, there is no substance, and one's own heart, it is also neither existence nor non-existence. Why is that? Ordinary people always regard body and mind as having small beings, while always extinguishing the heart. This is called the five bodhisattvas with the Buddha not having extinguished the heart. This is called the mind of neither existence nor non-existence, the heart of neither existence nor non-existence. This is called the middle way. Explaining by cultivating the mind leads to a gathering of deluded mind. Do not seek the law with your heart. The mind creates objects, while seekers find objects to be lost in. Things occur in delusion. The heart of those with right view is void and limitless. Surpass the mist without being entangled in it, leading to clarity and proof. Talking about a star is like saying there is really a star, like shattered tiles and other inanimate things. If one understands that the mind is a false name, Without a solid entity, one comes to realize that there is no existence of self. It is not non-existent either. Why is that? Ordinary people continuously generate thoughts, called having small affections. Continually extinguishing thoughts is called there is no Bodhisattva and no Buddha. For the previously born thoughts, not having extinguished thoughts is called neither having nor not having thoughts. It is also called the middle way. Therefore, knowing to hold new thoughts and study the law, the heart's law does not become exhausted. Do not hold the mind to learn Dharma. Thus, both the mind and Dharma are engaged in work. Those who do not understand are lost in ignorance or seekers of awakening. Awakening to the mystery. The heart of those with political views. Emptiness transcends mist. Without confusion and without objects, this is called correct understanding and right view. Form does not exist because of itself. Due to the heart, form does not arise from the heart. Due to form, the heart. This is the new form. Both aspects contain deep extinction, those have an excess. That which is nothing is without worry. If things are present, then one truly sees the true sword, where there is nothing unseen. There is also nothing to see, seeing across all directions. Never has there been sight. What is the reason? There is nothing to see, looking at it gradually without seeing. Therefore, what is not established is not established. What ordinary people see, all are clearly delusions. If one strikes to extinguish the illusion, then the true sword makes the heart's realm corresponding to wellness internally. If the internal mind arises, then the external deeply enters, with calmness felt together. Thus the people wield a true sword. Writing lyrics for interpretation is the people's political view. The form does not self-manifest. It arises from the influence of one's own mind. Discrimination accentuates the representations of form from the true mind. From the beginning, not moving is due to attachment to form. Thus action arises. Thus one knows their own mind and form both have true cessation. Friends are relative to being without. Manifesting existence. 5 is relative to existence. Thus, non-existence does not become an opposing concept but becomes reality. Those with complete understanding see all. There is also nothing to see. Seeing all 10 directions has never seen. Why is that? Because there is nothing to see, one has a strong image. But the heart does not see. The eye sees but the heart does not see. What ordinary people see. All are delusions. Only extinguishing the endless is truly called a true sword. When your own mind confronts the external environment. In the middle of a process, something occurred. If new thoughts arise internally, then outside does not give rise to states. Both the inner mind and external environment are intimate. It is called a true sword. When there is this kind of understanding, it is called political view. Not seeing all the laws is clear to get and not understand. All laws are clear. How can we say that seeing and not seeing both contain the unseen? Therefore, a brief expression may not understand the sentence's meaning. Thus, the sword of the sword is the bright true sword, understanding of Wujia. This is to understand great sisterhood. Blessings are seen by those who do not directly see the sword. It can be seen in what is unseen. The pure one does not directly understand through understanding. It is also understanding what cannot be understood. All that can be understood. All are engraved in misunderstanding. The one who has no understanding is named true understanding and misunderstanding. That's how Fei understands it. The wisdom of Jin Yun does not abandon and clarifies ignorance. Regarding the heart as empty, the conclusion of an ungraspable sentence is indeed treating the heart as a friend. The conclusion is an ungraspable sentence. If understood at the time. If one does not understand how to eat, the method of boiling. If the law is bamboo in a person, then the illegal becomes the law. If a person builds on the law becomes non-law. If a person leads the law, then the law is merely a view. If the law is built upon a person, thus all laws are indeed in accordance with the sage's intention. Do not seek the law with the mind, nor do they seek the law with intention. Do not seek the mind for intention. Do not seek the law. Therefore, the mind does not arise, and law does not arise from the mind. The principles of the mind are two extremes. Therefore, the mind of beings arises, the Buddha's doctrine ceases, the Buddha's teaching cease. When in the heart arises, truth ceases. When the mind ceases, truth arises. Life knows that all laws do not interact. This is clarity in the heart of the attainer, not belonging to all laws. This person is always in the place of Dharma. The intention below is quite lofty. Actually, not translating is better. The conference is key. Translation overturns the methodological form. Not seeing all dharmas is called attainment. Not understanding all laws is called understanding the law. Why is this? Whether seen or unseen, it does not matter. All seeing is possessive, neither gain nor loss, understanding and not understanding. All are understood as having no gain. Not having a few swords is called a true sword. There is no ultimate understanding of enlightenment. This is called a great sisterhood credential. There are not only visible insights. It must also include the unseen perspectives. Sisterhood is not just understanding the parts that can be solved. It must also include an understanding of what is incomprehensible. If one voluntarily seeks understanding, this is not understanding that which does not need understanding. Only this is called correct understanding. Comprehension and non-comprehension are not the true interpretation of the classics. Saying that not letting go of wisdom is called being eaten by fish. If the mind is empty, every remaining thought is genuine mind. If the friend forgets, the conclusion cannot be understood. If truly understood at the time, it is like the hair root following people. If one does not understand, food is what people chase after in the law. Cutting hair for the sake of following others is incorrect, and thus the law becomes right. If a person pursues Dharma, right Dharma will also become wrong. If a person pursues something, then all laws are forgetting, if the law follows a person. Thus all laws are indeed true. Therefore, sages do not seek the Dharma with their minds nor seek their minds with the Dharma. Also do not seek new with the heart. Do not seek the law. Therefore the mind does not arise, and legal principles do not arise. The principles of the mind are two extremes. Therefore, always remain in stillness and concentration. When beings' hearts arise, the Buddha's teachings cease. When beings' hearts cease, the Buddha's teachings arise. When reborn, true Dharma fades from the mind. Extinction leads to the birth of true teachings, knowing that everything does not interact with each other. This is called attaining the way. Knowing all laws of stars. This person often frequents the place of practice. Delusions are sinful, yet interpretations are not sinful. What is the reason? The latest emptiness employment. Eating glutinous rice has no sin, seeing sin as if eating and sin are not the same. Why is that? It is the most non-attached concern. The myriad laws are without nature, the true use should not delight or indulge. Why is this? Mostly born from doubt. If one engages in this matter, the sins of past lives are greatly extinguished. Mists and all 6 realms, 5 responses are all troubles born from death. Laws 56 are 5 responses all in Nirvana. There is no birth and death law. Practitioners do not seek the way externally. Why is that? Is a knowing heart the way? If one can attain the heart, there is no heart to be attained. If attained, there is no path to be achieved. If one says to seek law with the heart, they are all called wrong swords. In delusion, there are Buddhas and Dharmas, but in reality, there is no Buddha and no Dharma. Why is that? Things are the Buddha Dharma. In confusion, there is sin. Awakening comes without guilt. Why is that? Because the nature of sin is fundamentally empty. When confused, there is no blame. When seeing the blame, awakening, although close to creating sins. And in those moments, there is no sin. Why is that? Because there is the most non-attached concern. The classics say, all dharmas are inherently true, do not be misled and do not sink into sin. Why is that? Most arise from doubts. If one knows this principle, the money of the world is greatly destroyed. In confusion, time flies. The 6 are the 5 causes, all are the troubles born death laws, and the path of enlightenment 16 are also the 5 causes, all are Nirvana. There is no birth and death law. Cultivators do not seek the way outside. Why is this? Knowing the heart arrives. When the heart drops, no heart can be obtained. If one obtains it, there is no way to be obtained. If one claims to seek virtue with the mind, they are called deluded, and the time there is both Buddha and Dharma. Practically, there is no Buddha and no Dharma. Why is that? No, this is the Buddha Dharma. Good karmic practitioners deeply extinguish the way, just as if they assume this page is born from the thought of impermanence. There is no fixed law, just cultivate it with each thought. Also, one should not resent life and death, one should not love life and death, but within each thought, do not entertain delusions. Choosing has excess in Nirvana. Death enters no birth, lacking forbearance. Those on the path have deep awakening. It is like using sharp energy to prune so that the tree can regenerate. This karmic reward arises with the thought of impermanence. There are no fixed laws. However, one must cultivate according to the impermanence of thoughts, neither weary of life and death nor fond of life and death. In each thought, fantasies cannot choose, there is excess in Nirvana. Enter death without the endurance of birth and death. When the eye sees a form, it is not stained by form. You hear that the body is not stained by the rest of life. All are liberated. Eyes do not cling. The eye of form is Zen. The door ear does not attach to the body. The ear is the gate of Zen. In conclusion, those who approach true nature constantly attain liberation. Those who build up attachments are constantly bound by afflictions. It is indeed related to the affluent. This is the clear liberation. There is no other liberation. Those skilled at observing form see that form does not relate to body. The heart does not give rise to form, and form and heart are close. Eyes perceive shapes, like 10, not being stained by form. When the ear hears sound, it is not tainted by the sound. All these are liberation. The eye does not stain itself with form, like the eyes which are the gates of bondage. Ears do not cling to sounds. The ear is the gate of Zen. In conclusion, those who approach true nature constantly attain liberation. Those who build upwards are usually not troubled by delusions. This is called liberation. There is no other liberation. Those skilled at observing form see that forms does not affect the inner heart. When the inner heart does not give rise to form, form and inner heart are both close. When there are no delusions, one act is a Buddha land. When fantasies arise, a single heart leads to hell beings creating false thoughts. Due to the mind and body, the mind always dwells in the region. Bodhisattvas observe delusions without relying on the heart. Body and mind are always in the Buddha country. If not with the heart, body and mind are heart. The mind is like emptiness. Thoughts return to one Buddha country. If one relies on mind and heart, the mind is not respectful of thought and movement. From one place to another, if a thought arises. Thus there are good and evil, 2 pages. There is heaven and hell. If one thought does not arise, extreme good and evil are non-existent. Both actions are neither heaven nor hell. The microcosm is neither existent nor non-existent. In adversity, it exists. In supremacy, it is not. Therefore, the brother is also empty and hollow, illuminated with the heavens, without delusions. One action is a Buddha country. When there are delusions, one heart is one hell. Sentient beings create delusions. Due to mind and body, they are often in hell. Bodhisattvas observe delusions without relying on the heart. Body and mind are ever present in the Buddha land. If not relying on mind, body and mind are heart. The heart, like emptiness, returns close to a single Buddha land. If one relies on mind and body, the heart's nature does not respect thought and movement. From one place in hell, if a thought arises. Thus there are good and evil, 2 pages. There is heaven and hell. If one thought does not arise, ultimately free from good and evil. The 2 actions also lack heaven and hell. The new essence is neither existence nor non-existence in ordinary people. There has not been in the sage a person without a mind. Thus, the brother is in an empty hollow with the heaven the same bright. When reaching nirvana does not see any nirvana. Why is that? New city nirvana. If one sees beyond the stars, they further see nirvana. This name seeks heretical views. All troubles are like seeds of the Tathagata. The cause of troubles gives rise to wisdom. Just as it can reach troubles giving birth to the Tathagata that cannot be gained, troubles are the Tathagata. Sure enough, deeply gratified, troubles are the seeds, wisdom is just sprouting. The Tathagata desires fish bones. The Buddha is in the heart like fragrance. In techniques, afflictions are exhausted by the Buddha. From the heart comes restoration. If shapes arise from the tree, there is no home outside the tree. There is no Buddha outside of the mind. If the tree has fragrance outside, this is the other shore. There is a Buddha outside the mind. This is the heart of the other Buddha. When in nirvana, one does not see any nirvana. Why is that? The star is nirvana. If one can still see nirvana beyond the stars, this is an incorrect concept. All afflictions are like the seeds of the Tathagata and gain wisdom due to afflictions. Can only say troubles arise as the Tathagata cannot be spoken. Affliction is like the Tathagata. Body and mind are like fields, troubles are like seeds. Wisdom is sprouting. Becoming a Buddha is like harvesting rice. The Buddha is in the heart like fragrance in the tree. If troubles are exhausted, it is the Buddha. From the heart, the method of restoration arises until the fragrance is exhausted. From the tree to come, there is no homeland outside the tree. There is no Buddha outside the mind. If there is fragrance outside the tree, this is the fragrance of other trees. If there is still a Buddha outside the heart, this is the other Buddhas. In the heart, there are 3 afflictions that make a world of afflicting costs. There is no free in the heart. Readers are close to the national soil. If clouds cause the country not to evolve, filling every Buddha with wise men among them, there are no such matters that do not exhaust understanding. The evil ones are the 3 poisons of ignorance, and the Buddhas, the honored ones, are pure awakened minds. In the heart, having greed, anger, and ignorance will lead to the pure land. If in the heart there are no greed, anger, and ignorance, becoming the pure land, the classics say. If the country does not progress, will fill every Buddha with respect, from within, arising from the situation. Not only will they go hungry. This is the ignorance of greed and ignorance. The Buddhas, the world-honored ones, are close to the awakened heart.